Not every weird topic needs a full-length video to discuss. Sometimes you just need something a little bit shorter, a little extra. Welcome to my new show, shorter, stranger, and just the right amount of weird to get your week started off on the stranger side of things. Today we're talking about one of the most famous cryptids of all time, the Loch Ness Monster. Stay tuned, this is Extra Strange. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Extra Strange. I'm your host, the same guy from the Weekly Strange. This is my members-only show and part of my rewards package for supporting the channel. This first episode will be public, but going forward, only members will be able to access additional shows. So thank you, members, first and foremost. And now let's get into it. My fascination with the Loch Ness Monster grew out of my obsession with dinosaurs as a young boy. I forget where I first heard about it exactly, but I do remember thinking something along the lines of, holy crap, there might still actually be a living dinosaur. And, I was firmly in the plesiosaur camp and immediately convinced that it was possible. One of my absolute favorite books growing up was Danny and the Dinosaur, so I was pretty much already a believer anyway. And then In Search of with Leonard Nimoy hit the airwaves, and my fascination with Nessie grew even more. It was a cool time, and I remember seeing loads of heavily bearded Scots launching their own amateur field research operations, and I just, as a little kid, marveled at their efforts. Over the years, interest seems to have waxed and waned as sightings increased and decreased. But it seems like it's been a while since I heard anything about it, so when I was thinking about this very first episode, I wanted to dive in and take a look. And while I have to admit grudgingly that most of my hopes about there being a plesiosaur have been dashed by the lack of any sort of DNA evidence extracted from the water a few years back, I still have high hopes that whatever is there might be something cool rather than just like an oversized giant eel or a sturgeon. As for 2025, the first sighting was reported widely around March, even though it apparently happened in late January. And this photo here is what sparked a new wave of curiosity, at least for 2025. It definitely appears to be something moving under the water, but it's hard to say exactly what it could be. The picture was snapped at Doors Beach, shown here. And Amy Todd, the marketing manager at the Loch Ness Center, said that they've reached out to experts to examine the photo and that in the past, seals and other creatures have been mistaken for the elusive Nessie. So after January, the next sighting happened on March 2nd when another witness claims to have spotted a dark gray shape blowing bubbles before surfacing and then submerging again quickly. That witness was first using binoculars when they spotted something strange and snapped this picture here. And there have been other sightings this year as well, although tracking down the original footage is more than just slightly difficult. On April 12th, a music video director was filming a duck when he noticed unusual ripples coming in toward the shore. He started filming and managed to capture something producing quite a wake as it moved through the water, but it's pretty hard to tell from this picture here what exactly it might be. Later on in the spring, a tourist from Italy was up in the castle tower and snapped this photo, and then on June 27th, a local man named Graham was walking his dog on a quiet morning near, and I'm going to butcher this name, Abriation, hopefully I said it right, when he spotted a strange brown shape jutting out of the water slightly and managed to capture this picture here. And then there was this sighting of something on June 16th when a viewer from Kosovo, who apparently didn't find anything else to watch, was glued to the live webcam that the Visit Inverness website has set up when he spotted this anomaly and took a quick screen cap. Unfortunately, he didn't do screen record, so the screen cap is all we have, which makes me wonder why the Visit Inverness website doesn't record all the footage. I mean, yeah, it would be enormously, probably memory-wise, and possibly also expensive, but maybe work it into the budget next year so we don't have to rely on just the screen cap. We could actually see the screen recording, which would be more interesting. And then on July 16th, just a few weeks back, this video surfaced from a woman named Livia taken at Urquhart Castle of something bobbing in and out of the water. Now, this to me looks pretty much like the behavior of a seal rather than some sort of elusive monster. But again, the quality is not that great. A couple months back in May, the Loch Ness Center once again held its annual famous event, The Quest, which involves volunteers and researchers monitoring the loch at a bunch of different locations over the course of 4 days. They invite speakers in, there are events for kids, but the meat of it, so to speak, is that a bunch of researchers get out on boats, they use sonar to scour the depths, they fly drones overhead, and during the first few days of this year's quest, nothing much happened, but according to the video recap of the weekend that I found on YouTube, there was an interesting event on that Saturday night. Now, Alan McKenna is one of the primary researchers at this event, and he stood on shore with another researcher in the dark, and as they were doing so, there was a sudden large splash from their right side as something with mass moved to their left. Both men were stunned into silence, but then it happened again, but from the opposite direction. Alan McKenna was unsure what it could be, but firmly stated that it would have had to have been quite large to make such a disturbance in the water. McKenna himself did not see anything, but the man he was with said that he saw something large moving through the night. But again, even in spite of the fact that they had high-power flashlights, they didn't have time to capture any pictures or video. And apparently, no one at the Quest had night vision recording ability. I don't get that. Anyway, so that is 2025 so far with regards to Nessie. I'd seen some headline that I was unable to track down when I was doing this video that said something that Nessie sightings were actually down this year. But from what I've been able to dig up and access on the databases that supposedly keep track of this stuff, it seems pretty much like an average year for them. I mean, we're only just at the end of July, and I'd say it's been moderately active. Then again, I'm not a diehard webcam watcher, so I can't say for sure. I guess we'll see if anything else happens for the rest of the year. But in the meantime, I really, really, really hope somebody either donates or brings night vision equipment, you know, when they're down there at the loch, especially at the next Quest event next May. If you're doing a nighttime investigation, you really, really, really just ought to have it. And that is that. Your quick update on all things Loch Ness Monster so far for the year 2025. Nothing earth-shattering by any means, even if I'm still retaining some hope that there might be something really cool to this story. Youthful, naive optimism? Oh yeah, absolutely. But that's not enough to withstand objective critical scrutiny, and I have to admit that every year that passes, there seems less to this story than more. It would be nice to finally know what is in the loch, if it's anything at all. All right, thanks for watching this episode of Extra Strange. Don't forget to join the channel so you can see new episodes of this show. And I'll be back with episode 25 of the Weekly Strange on Wednesday. Members of the channel also get early access to it on Tuesday night. So join up, become a member, become a supporter of the channel. If you like what I'm doing out here, I would appreciate your support. Thank you so much. And for now, thanks for watching and have a great night.